like we had a lead problem in Six Summit. I have a lead problem with Social Sweep, but like on the other side, where it's like just too much unqualified leads. And so now it's like I have a show rate of maybe, I'm not exaggerating, maybe 30%. So I have like 10 calls, three of them are showing up. And that's just no bueno. So I need to qualify these guys a lot better. Initially, I just had my calendar open on the site. People were just booking calls with me. Now they go through a qualification process, and the questions just need to be better. And how I'm qualifying them needs to be better. So that's another thing that I'm learning.
This is Super SaaS Bros with Cory and Jayde. Let's jump in. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Super SaaS Bros. We're your host, Cory and Jayde. Today we don't have any guests, but we are going to reflect on our week. We're going to kind of talk about some lessons we've learned, how things are going, because there's a lot of exciting stuff happening in Six Summit, in the business that you're also working in, Jayde, as well too. So I think it'd be sweet to just kind of give everyone a little bit update of like what's been happening over the last couple of weeks, because we've had some guests, so we've been talking with a lot of guests, but I don't think we've had a lot of updates so far, like ourselves.
Yeah, we've had a lot of moving parts happening over the past few weeks. Some changes, things have kind of evolved. We've spent, the last few episodes just talking through our guests, which we want to do a lot more of. But yeah, some quick updates for you folks. Six Summit is doing, I would say, probably the best it's ever been right now. I think we're starting to see some more traction. At first few months, you guys have been here on the road with us, that it has been up and down, that roller coaster that we have been going through. We're doing our best to stay resilient, and it is kind of paying out. So we have an ongoing potential partnership. Things are still in the works. We still can't release who it is until things are completely signed.
Yeah.
But it is going very well. So we will hopefully be able to tell you guys, hopefully next week, on what is in store for that. And then kind of for myself, one of the bigger projects that we were working on earlier in the year, which we told you guys about, which was Social Sweep. Social Sweep is essentially your own personal AI search engine for your social network. And so it's really dope. It basically connects all your social networks and your email together and services these hidden connections within it. And you can just talk to it like you would talk to ChatGPT. And so I have personally, I would say, moved majority of my efforts onto taking ownership of the project. And so I would say maybe 80 to 85% of my efforts are over there right now, where I am constantly talking to customers, building the product out. I've switched roles a lot. Instead of being like the guy behind the scenes and building out the tech, Scott, who you guys, I think we've talked about before, you guys know that. And so now I'm essentially on the sales and marketing side, on the actual business leadership side. And so my role has pivoted quite drastically, which, to be completely honest with you guys, is something that I have been eager for, only because I have been a software engineer for 15 years. And I am just like, I love it. I just think I'm just so ready for that next step. And so, yeah, so that has been taking up 85% of my time. And it is with, if you guys know Martel Ventures, Martel Ventures is a venture studio out here in Kelowna, British Columbia. And this was a project that we initially did for them. And then we kind of came together and we're like, let's kind of roll this out. And this is where we are today. So I would say that is probably one of the biggest updates on my end.
Yeah, and then like coinciding to that, like Jayde's right, like Six Summit is probably in the best place it has been. And we started, like, it was pretty rough, like up and down, like in terms of roller coasters, of figuring out how to actually get this business to where it needs to be, and we're still figuring out on how to get it to where we want it to be. But with kind of Jayde kind of switching his time, majority to Social Sweep now, that has meant that I have now been kind of taking the charge of Six Summit, which has been super, super exciting. So it still means I'm still doing the sales and marketing and stuff I was doing before, but it also means that, like, we can hire a team, get people on, and it's just there's this awesome like leadership aspect to it now that I feel like truthfully I didn't realize that I missed a little bit from like my corporate days. Like since it was you, me, and Scott, like we're business partners. We're all at the same level, right? And like we were just like a cohesive team together.
Yeah.
Um,
For the longest time, it was just you and I.
and it was just you, yeah. For the long time, it was just you, both of us. And so, like we didn't. There wasn't really to me like a leadership aspect to
Yeah.
that, right? Like we're just working together. We're in the weeds. We're just grinding, right? And so now like recently we've hired on two developers and
Yep.
they're just rock stars,
Yeah.
and they're crushing it right now. And it's been really cool to start having this team form
Hmm.
and be able to start putting on like a leadership hat again.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy that aspect of like the role as well as just being a leader. So
Yeah.
as this team grows, as we bring more people on, I think I will continue to enjoy that leadership aspect. So I'm excited. So while Jayde's like kind of like running the ship on the social sweep side and crushing it there, I'll be taking the helm here on Six Summit side. That's really cool because this is like I feel like a very unique opportunity where we still get to work together every single day,
Yeah.
and work very closely
Yeah.
with each other
Yeah.
and on projects and stuff. So even though there's like almost two different streams of businesses happening here, I don't think that happens very often for a lot of business partners and founders, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
It is very cool. It's very exciting, especially in my world with like social sweep now. I'm getting a lot of like on some of these calls, they understand that I've come from like the software world, and so when they see that and they kind of like kind of talk about that for a second or two, and they realize like sound is a thing, and there's a software agency and it builds custom AI software solutions for small businesses, they think to themselves, "Oh, I would love to talk about that as well."
And then
And
you
so
send it my way.
right?
Yeah.
So that's been pretty fun too. I think right now, like even the projects that we have coming in, like we have right now two legal projects, which is really cool that we're working on,
Yep.
and yeah, like both the developers that we have hired are just absolute rock stars. I'm actually very impressed on the talent that we were able to find and bring in, and we leveraged our network for it. And it has been like a breath of fresh air. It's been really refreshing because I've realized when building out a lot of these projects, especially when it was just you and I, it was really hard to kind of jam out on ideas, only because you weren't in the code with me. And so now,
It was hard, and I also had a lack of just technical understanding overall. Like I was still relatively new to it, right?
right. And
Yeah.
so now, like when, like even Jason and I were just on a call, and it was like we just like nerded out for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my God, like he was like challenging me on some stuff, and I'm like, yes, like you're right, like let's do that. So that's like I love,
Cool.
yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Do you feel like there's because you brought on Jason, which is our most recent hire, and then Scott, our CTO, he brought on Nick,
yeah,
who started a couple weeks ago. Um, he used to work. He worked previously with Nick on a project, so there was like some experience there of understanding of how he worked, which is really awesome. That I think those are some of the best hires is knowing that. But Jason, I think, was a relatively like new person that you ended up meeting that just ended up living very close by to you.
yeah.
Like, do you feel like there's any like key to like hiring him that you look back on now? You're like, oh yeah, this knowing that now, this was a really good hire.
Well, I think we just clicked. And I think, like I've always said this, I just want to work with really cool people and just like build really cool stuff. And so
Yeah.
the conversations, like it's really easy to understand the level of someone's, I would say, experience and intelligence in the software world just by having a conversation with them. And so if you're teaching or if you're telling me and even teaching me about some things that I don't know, because there's a lot of things that I would say I'm, relatively experienced in the space. And so I can kind of like fact check you and like challenge you on some stuff.
Right.
And if you're able to come back at me and almost like validate what I'm saying, solidify what I'm saying, or even challenge it and make me question myself because of the level I, you know, am at, I believe that if you're able to have that conversation with me at that level, it shows me the level that you're at. And so I realize that he's a super cool person. He's just like another dude like us. We literally had this conversation at the gym, so we were just working out together.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this guy, we got to work together.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's think that's sometimes the hardest aspect for people because a lot of people get wrapped up in like certifications or like your education or whatever it might be, but sometimes it's just experience and how you jam together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like we did not do a technical interview. I did not see a technical with him. I did not know anything,
Nope.
but he has been crushing it. I've been seeing all his PRs, and I'm just like, dude, yeah, this is the guy.
Oh, amazing. So yeah, it's been awesome. Like both of you brought on some just like really awesome people, which is
Yeah.
super helpful because yourself and Scott were like major technical power on the
Yeah.
Six Summit side, and so part of our goal was like, hey, well, we need to bring in some more technical power, so that you guys are freed up a little bit to do more social sweep as your kind of efforts switch, and so I think it's been so sick. So really really good. So kudos to both of you because you guys did great on bringing some awesome people in. So thank you.
Power of your network, man.
Pardon?
So the power of your network.
Power of your network. Like, let's pivot to that now. Power of
Yeah.
your network. Social sweep. How has it been going? Being more in most of your time now, being like sales, marketing. What have been some tough things, some lessons you've learned over the last little bit?
Yeah.
With social sweep.
Um, I would say like doing everything that we've been doing for the past year, one of the biggest takeaways that I have definitely learned is relationships and just building relationships.
Mm,
So it's kind of different in the software agency world because you are building a product for them that is custom to them. And so obviously it's a higher ticket price. The relationship needs to be formed and the trust needs to be there. And so now coming onto the social sweep side, I've kind of like pivoted gears on like, you tell me your pain and I need to show you that this will basically solve your pain, right?
right.
And at first, so what I'm learning right now is at first I thought it was very transactional. It's like you tell me your pain, I hit your pain, and I know I have the solution, and that is true. But I think um, I lost the power of building the relationship, and so I'm really coming back to that
Cool.
and talking to these people. That to me is like at the first, it's like very primary for me on just like trying to build that relationship and that trust and that connection with them, and not trying to force a solution down their throat that might not even be a solution for them. So it's like, yeah, you've told me your pain. Here is the value that Social Sweep can create for you. But at the same time, I'm not forcing it down their throats. I'm kind of just like coming from the heels, not the toes type of thing.
Mm,
And that is that is working. I'm seeing that that's working.
that's really cool. Yeah, it's. Do you find like you take the approach because I hear this all the time and like kind of any of like the sales training or coaching is like you take the approach of like a doctor, right? You're very curious. You're asking about their pains because you're not going to prescribe them something
Yeah.
that if they have I don't know, an upset stomach,
Yeah.
right? You're not going to tell them like, hey, take this topical cream, right?
And
Like
heart surgery. Yeah.
yeah.
No, so these demo calls that are like 30 minutes long, the demo that I do is maybe 2, 3 minutes, maybe.
Right.
And a lot of it is just discovery. I'm prepping, I'm understanding their business, I'm understanding who they are. I'm like going into LinkedIn and reading their website and all of that, and really having a grasp on how, like, so they booked the call with us. So there's a reason why they see the value there. And so my job is to make sure that I fully understand their business, hopefully as well as they do, who their ICP is, how their go to market is, all that stuff. And then now I understand the problem, and then I can understand the reason why they're coming for social sweep. And so I'm just clarifying that on the call and checking in with them on like, hey, you booked this call, you have this problem, this is why you booked this call. And so as I continue on with that, it's just like, okay, so it's like you prep, you're opening, you're now checking that this is why they're here, and
Mm,
then just kind of setting the goal for the call, which is like, so the goal for us today is me basically showing you that this product solves the problems that you just told me, and then just like having it as a conversation and making sure that it is a conversation. It's not just feature dumping. It's not look at this really cool screen and look at this really cool feature. And
yeah.
Yeah, because they don't really care about your product; they care about their problem. So making their problem and seeing that you are solving it with the product that you built, and if so, talk about like, is there alignment here? Great, let's talk about next steps. And that's it.
Any mental hurdles or like misconceptions that you had about like sales calls that you've kind of debunked as you've been kind of going through it? Like either like ones that come to mind for me is like I think a lot of people struggle with asking for the money at the end, right? Like closing the
Mhm.
close, right? I know for me that's always been like a tough thing where it's just like you eventually you need to get to that point of you need to ask, right? Or is there anything else that has come be kind of debunked as you kind of been going through it?
I think, yeah, so definitely. I actually have, because coming from like with Six Summit, I was working on this for a while. Like the ticket value at Six Summit is a lot higher than is on Social Sweep. And so
Yeah.
it's, in my mind, it's not as much of a sticker shock because I'm used to like five figures,
Yeah.
6 figures of selling software.
Yeah.
And so coming onto the Social Sweep side, maybe the shock might be for them, but because I'm so like comfortable with the price, because in my mind it's like relatively low for what a value that they get,
Right.
finding that my tonality when I'm bringing up the price and I'm saying your investment is this for the whole year, this is what you get. We'll get you on board on Monday. Does that work for you, or how would you like to proceed? And that's literally how I do it. And then they'll come to me and they'll be like, yeah, no, that works, or and then it's just objective.
Objection. Yeah.
And so if they
Yeah.
said it works, and I'd be like, great, and then what's the best credit card to put it on? And I literally have it open, and then they'll proceed. And if not, then I'm just kind of handling objections at that point. And the objections might be true to the point, like I've gotten many where it's like, it's missing this, or like I need to talk to my coworker or my boss, or actually not really boss. So
Yeah.
it's got to talk to my business partner, or like this might not be the right time. Like, I'm really busy right now, and but like let's circle back in a month or maybe 2 months when things kind of slow down. And then like the objection handling is just there, and it's just like there's always going to be something. In 2 months you're going to still be busy. Like low partnerships, opportunities, whatever that is.
Right.
So it's just, yeah. But I need to get better. I need to get a lot better at it. So I'm learning, and I'm just like, it's just reps and a lot more reps. Another thing too, hopefully I'm not boring you guys,
No, it's good, man.
qualifying. Like,
Oh, yes. We were talking about this yesterday. Yeah.
like we had a lead problem in Six Summit. I have a lead problem with Social Sweep, but like on the other side, where it's like just too much unqualified leads. And so now it's like I have a show rate of maybe, and I'm not exaggerating, maybe 30%. So I have like 10 calls, three of them are showing up, and that's just no bueno. So I need to qualify these guys a lot better. Initially, I just had my calendar open on the site, and people were just booking calls with me. Now they go through a qualification process, and the questions just need to be better, and how I'm qualifying them needs to be better. So that's another thing that I'm learning.
Yeah, that's the qualifying piece can be a tricky one because, again, you don't know of the 60, 70% people that are not showing up. Like, it's hard to assume that all of them are unqualified,
Yeah.
but there's probably a portion of them that are definitely qualified. There's just something that's not getting them over the hump, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to say this because we were talking about qualifying yesterday and like kind of brainstorming ideas on like, the questions or like what to do between when they book it and the actual call.
Yeah.
I was just on Instagram and then I saw an Alex Hormozy post, and he has this like Hormozy hotline that he does where people just call in and he kind of just like bam, bam, bam
Oh
fixes
yeah.
problems very quickly, right?
Yeah.
And
He did
one
that with
question.
First Million. What's
Oh,
his
did
name?
he?
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but he did it with him on one episode.
Oh, it's so cool. He's so good at it. But one question he asked someone, he was like, when a lead books a call, or you get a lead into your CRM or whatever, he's
Yeah.
like, how fast do you reach out to them,
Yeah.
right?
And it's
And
just,
they're like, yeah. And he's just like, you need to call them. Like, call them within a minute. He's like, oh, we send an email. Sometimes we text them. He's like, call them.
yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe we should do that. Like, maybe like if you get their, I know not every time you get their phone number, but maybe you get their phone number, and maybe because I think you were like calling them if they didn't show up, which is still good. I think that should still happen. But like, maybe once they book the call, just call them and just be like, hey, I'm excited for our call. Like, we good? And
I
like
do.
like maybe that's another solution. Like again, it's another piece of the puzzle that may or may not fit, but that's just something I heard and I was like, oh, I need to tell Jade this too.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you? How have you been finding I know you just talked about leadership, but like what else has been different in your world in Six Summit?
Yeah, I think I'll lean in towards like the sales conversation as well too. Just how people can see like the differences. So one
Right.
thing I've been learning this whole time with Six Summit, right, is balancing between objections, what is actually like I would say a limitation in their own process. Like, because sometimes we're talking about like enterprise level sales here, sometimes they have their own process. I need to talk to my legal team. I need to talk to whatever. Like, there's something there that maybe has a lot of merit to it. It just sucks because it slows things down dramatically, and we know time kills all deals.
Yeah.
So one thing I've been trying to learn, and we've talked about this as well, is like how I can shorten this sales cycle,
Mm,
right? And
okay.
so that's something that we're trying to experiment with right now. Is where we have like usually it's like a discovery call, and usually by that point, I've already built some level of rapport for them. Very rare do I get like a cold booking. It's
Hmm.
usually like someone is booking because they've been referred to us. We've been talking to them for a while or something like that.
Hmm.
And so usually a relationship's already built to that point. And so we're trying to do a discovery call, send them information and case studies in between, and then the next call is to review the proposal and close. So that's what we're trying to be like, make our sales cycle. But mind you, like that might be like a month or two of relationship building prior, maybe shorter. But I've been just trying to focus on how do we shorten the sales cycle to the smallest level that we possibly can with that person, you know? Because
Mm,
sometimes these businesses, they do have like, you know, processes that they need to go through. There is some bureaucracy behind it, some red tape, which
yep.
is just like I think more of like a reality of the people that we're working with, like, larger deals. But I'm like, how can I just make that as short as possible with this client?
Yeah.
So that's something I'm working through right now. And I think it's going well in terms of trying to close quicker, but
Hmm.
I'm still learning too. Like, I think I still have a lot to learn here. I still need more reps with it. So
Yeah. I almost wonder too if there opportunity even before the discovery call. Like we know that that's booked in, but like, is there something we can do ahead of time before the discovery happens to help shorten that lead time? Whether it's actually giving them more value beforehand. Here's testimonials, here's referral, whatever. Here's demos that we've done. Because even sometimes, like I remember. Sometimes it would be a yeah, I have to talk to my business partner, I'd have to run this through accounting or whatever, and maybe kind of give them that opportunity on what's possible by giving them the resources initially, and then they can kind of go into their team and say like, this is what these guys do. Yeah, and
yeah,
every call happens.
absolutely. Like maybe something like that, then discovery call, and then in between discovery call and like I'll call it the proposal call. Um, you know, maybe it's an in the loom video
Yeah,
or something like that. That just
hammers
you know,
out value.
yeah, something like that. So anyway, so figuring that out, it's a definitely a longer sales cycle than
Yeah,
what you're doing with a social suite, but it's also about like we don't want that to also extend for months and months and months and months and months, right? Because we have been in that situation where we've put months and months of effort and then it just falls flat, right?
sure.
So yeah. So otherwise, it's been like I think it's been good. I think the last month or two has been a for Six Summit a good influx of leads,
Yeah.
which has been really awesome to kind of work through. So it's just about like kind of getting these people, in the door, essentially, because we want to work with them. There's really awesome projects here. Like we've had a couple of cybersecurity projects kind of come our way that would be really interesting to work on. It's not an industry I ever even really thought about. Like we've mostly been focused on like legal, I guess social, voice AI space. Cybersecurity was never really one that like kind of came up, and then two came up in like a matter of a week. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so that's been it, man. But it's been really good. It's been fun.
Sweet. Sweet. I love it. I love that we're seeing each other's journeys together.
Yeah, different but like similar veins. We're working on like very similar skills,
Yeah.
but I would say in like you know very different types of products, right? So
Totally. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah. This I don't know. I don't know. Let me know if you guys are liking more of like the more of us documenting, more of just like the guests. Um, we do have like a backlist of people that we want to put on the podcast. But let us know what you guys are liking more. If we should do 1 week this, 1 week guests. And yeah, we'll implement it. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for listening. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And yeah, we can leave us a rating and review. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Super SaaS Pros with Cory and Jayde. We'll see you next time.